FrannyDoMakes. My name is Fran. I'm coming to you today from a very sunny but windy Leeds in the north of England in West Yorkshire, and I am bringing you my makes and knits from the last 2 weeks. So yes, settle down, grab a cup of whatever you fancy and we'll get into it. So as I said, my name's Fran. FrannyDoMakes. You can find me elsewhere on the internet as @FrannyDoMakes on Instagram and on Ravelry, where I post all my projects, and also on Facebook you've got FrannyDo page, and there's a website which is www.frannydo.co.uk, which will feature all information for all of the projects that I talk about. All the details of the designers and the yarn dyers and project bags or notions or anything else that I include, and all the links will be in there. I do try and put in non-Ravelry links if possible for people that have accessibility problems, but I'll also put on if it is a Ravelry link, if that's the only version that they do. Okay, so you'll be aware. So, how are we all? Have we had a lovely couple of weeks? Mine's been okay. Not a lot been going on really, just been at work, it's been cold. Oh, you'll be glad that you're where you are at the moment, because the rest of my room is utter carnage. We have, Minnie has got a new bed. Oh, move this. No, that's no better. Minnie has got a new bed, single bed, because she was in a toddler bed. So she's got a new bed, and so all of her stuff and the things that were in her room have sort of been put in my room until we finish sorting it all out, and like things that we've got rid of. So there's a big bag of clothes here. I used to do a lot of jewellery making and things, so there's a big crate here full of all that stuff that I need to just pass on to someone who might use it more, because I don't use it anymore. Right, so today I have a bit of not a finished object as such, but an amended object, if that counts. And I have 5 works in progress, 1 new cast on, 2 new cast ons actually, because 1 I cast on just after I'd finished last episode. So today I am drinking strawberry and pomegranate from Bird and Blend in my beautiful suffragette mug from Emma Bridgewater. It really does taste like pomegranate, which is lovely. So first up we'll do with what's on the wall. I apologise for this brightness, it's really sunny today. It's so good. So it's sunny, it's dry, it's windy. I've got some washing on the line. First load of washing for the year. Exciting. Although, how stupid am I? I put in my favourite hoodie, my 50th anniversary Walt Disney World hoodie. Put it in the washer with a tissue in the pocket. It was absolutely covered in bits of tissue. I've managed to get most of it off, and it's up on the line, so hopefully that might blow the rest of it off, but we'll see. It might need to go in again. Anyway, what's on the wall? So on the wall today is my Adventuresome wrap, which is a pattern by Amber O'Brien, and that was knit using my Castleview Yarns advent calendar from 2021. Yes, which was like a tropical themed rainbow fade, and held the other contrast colour is just a grey called Charcoal, which was from Somerset Yarns. I've also got some additional items up here, which were some Tofts Edward's Imaginarium monsters. There's a couple on the other side that were in Minnie's room, but she doesn't play with them, so I'll put them in here. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is what I'm wearing. So this is my Vivienne cardigan that I made 2-3 years ago. It's from Wool and the Gang. It's using a kit from them. So this is their Shiny Happy Cotton in the colourway Spots. but I never wore it, and here is the reason why. As you can see, the gloves, the sleeves were just ridiculously long, and I couldn't do anything with it, and it just fell off my shoulders all the time. So I decided to give it some surgery. So what I did, I cut off the bottom of the sleeve. As you can see, I cut off quite a lot. So I cut that off, I picked up the stitches, I did a decreased every stitch, and then did a cuff. So now I've got a bit of a poofy sleeve. The sleeves fit, I can do things without them all getting in everywhere, and hopefully I shall wear it a bit more. I mean, it's still a very wide, weird sleeve, but at least I can wear it around the house and everything. The only thing is that it does slip off. I think it's just so heavy. So I didn't know whether to put in a crochet chain just for this shoulder bit here, because the knitting follows that line. So I might be able to put, just so it holds it a bit, and it's less, I don't know if that would make any difference or no. Anyway, let me know if you've done any modifications on particularly cardigans, because obviously I don't really have that problem with bought ones, but yeah. So if you've got any suggestions on what I can do to make it a fully wearable garment and not a complete waste of time and money, I would be very happy to hear. So that's my first thing. So at least I can, it's better than it was. But I mean, look at this. How much? Like, anyway, so that's some. And obviously I had some of this in the stash anyway, but I'm much more pleased with the length of the sleeve now. So what shall we start with? We've talked about last year's Advent project, so let's talk about this year's. I've got a bit done on this. I did more of it last week. I've not got so much of it done this week, but I've put a stitch marker on so we know where I was last time. And I think I've done 2.5 colours. So this is my Festive Cheer Cowl by Yarnia Designs. So that's all of the colours there. So what you'll do at the end, I mean it seems so big, you will graft it together and then you'll be able to, like an infinity scarf. So last time I was here, just where my licorice also was, so I finished that row and then I've done this colour, which I think was Glinda's Wishes. So it's, I've said before, it's a Wizard of Oz Advent. So Glinda's Wishes, this is Ding Dong the Witch is Gone, struck dead, because I would say that. And this is Flying Monkeys, which matches my nails. I got these, they were supposed to be for Christmas, but they didn't arrive in time. They're just starting to click off now. But I got these, it's some of those like nail stickers. I got them on Etsy. And I had them on for, this is the end of 2 weeks. And it's just starting to go on my nail on the end there. I'm going to get some more. Very enjoying them. Well, I'll see. I've got to try and figure out how to take them off first. I'm trying to try that this afternoon, but I thought I'd leave it on for the podcast. Anyway, so yes, I'm still liking the pattern. I think it's lovely to see all the colours together, because I wouldn't necessarily have liked all the shades on their own, but together, because there is actually a little bit of a, I thought they were quite random, but you know, there's pinks together. I mean, this blue is crazy, but you know, there's like yellows together. So yeah, it's going to be lovely when it's finished. And you can see all the colours together. So I'm only using 10 grams of each mini, and the contrast is the same grey that was in that one, because I had some left over. So that's the grey. So that's charcoal. So I'm using a 3mm needle. The pattern has you do it in 3.25, but it didn't, the fabric didn't suit for my liking. I think I'm a looser knitter, so I went down a size to the 3, and I'm much happier with it. I don't know whether I've gone a bit loose there, but you can see how the mosaic knitting works there. So you get like a bit of a zigzag between the things, and once it's blocked I think that'll look really nice. So yes, I'm pleased with it, it's coming on nicely. Yeah, so steady away with that. I'm not rushing to finish it or anything, but sometimes if you fancy just a roundy round, it's good for if I'm watching something. There we go, so that's that. So I don't know how many colours I've got left. There's not many in my bag now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there's 6, 7, 8. No, so 8 to go. So we're getting through it. But I would highly recommend the pattern. I think it's going to be quite wearable. It's easy to follow and everything. So next up is my Lapoo. So I'm working on my Lapoo cardigan by Beata Jezek. I'm going to write that on. I don't know if that's how you say it, but it's the lady from Hedgehog Fibres. Beata Jezek maybe. Anyway, I'll put it here. So this is my Lapoo cardigan. I'm knitting it using Pixie Yarn's Barefoot Fade set, and I've got quite a bit done on this as well. So I've marked where I was last time I was here, and I am now down to here. So my fade was looking really nice. I did have a bit of a problem with my stitches. When I got to the point when I'd finished my raglan increases and I got to splitting for the sleeves, my stitches were like all wrong. I don't know how, because I must have, I mean, it looks like I've done them right, so I don't know. Anyway, I just fudged it and didn't pick up extra ones under the sleeve. So I just fudged it. I wasn't going to rip it back or anything. So yes, it's all worked out fine. I've got the right number of stitches now, hopefully, unless I've dropped some or whatever. So yeah, so I've knit down through the first colour and then marled it with the second, and then that's 2 of the second, and then that's the second and the third, and this is the third all on its own. But I've got a bit of a stripe from this one. Can you see there? But I mean, it might be alright. I don't know. I don't think it's too noticeable. I think it looks worse for me because I'm looking at it and thinking it'd be like this seamless fade, but there's not much of the second colour in this third colour, so it was a bit of a jump. So we'll see. Plus it's going to jump quite a bit, I think, when this one gets involved anyway, so, and I haven't got enough of the last colour, I don't think, because I saved half of the skein so that I'd have enough to do the sleeves. We'll see. It's lovely and squidgy though, you know, with the 2 skeins held together, the 2 strands, it's really nice and squidgy, and it feels really nice, the yarn's lovely, and it's my kind of colour for sure. Yeah, so I'm enjoying it. I'm just a bit disappointed in that. That's my first kind of fade garment that I've ever made. I didn't know whether to go back and sort of do the stripe thing, but I think it'll just look stripy anyway, so I don't think it's going to really help that much, so I might just leave it, at least until I put the next colour in and then see if, yeah. Don't make it any less nice that it's got a bit of a stripe in it, but like I said, I think it's going to get more stripy as it goes anyway with those extra colours. So yeah, that's my Lapoo cardigan. I'm doing all the big knits at the moment. I've got loads of socks, like half done, but I'm not in the mood for socks at the moment. It's weird. So next up in my lovely soft accents bag, Jackie's just done a shop update, I think, or she'd been to Waltham Abbey Wool Show, had some leftovers, and she's not been very well, so if you would like one of these beautiful bags, I'll link to her on the website. So this is my Felix sweater that I cast on last week. So you've not seen any of this. This is brand new. Don't know which is the front and which is the back. Let me think. Right, that's the front. Okay, I mean it's a bit bunched up so you can't really tell, but this is, the yarn is from Wendy. It's a giant ball. I can't really take it out because it's all sort of collapsing now because I'm pulling from the middle. So it's this giant ball of Wendy, Aran, with wool, tweed. I haven't got the label. Anyway, with wool tweed. It's a giant 400 gram, 800 metre ball. So I did the tubular cast on, which I'm pleased with. I did use a 4mm. I used a straight needle for that because I was struggling with my circular. But I only had a 4, I didn't have a 3.75, which is what it recommends to do it with on the pattern. So it is quite a wide neckline, but I think it's meant to be, so we'll see. So I love how the fabric's coming up with the tweedy bits, and I've just finished my eyelets there, which I found really easy to follow. I was a bit worried that I'd have to concentrate, but I didn't really have to concentrate too much. It was fairly easy to read where you were. So I've got maybe half an inch to knit, and then I can split for the sleeves. It's a lovely light and open fabric. I mean, it's Aran wool, but it's ever so light. I mean, it's only that much of a sweater, but compared to, I mean, it's partly because it's half acrylic, I suppose, but compared to my Lapoo, it's much lighter. But I suppose there's less, you know, the gauge is much more open, isn't it? But yeah, I think it'll be a lovely throw-on, you know, casual sweater. So I need to pick that up and do it a bit more, but I've been a bit excited about something else, which I'll tell you about in a minute. I've not bought anything, I've been good. But, so yeah, I've cast this on and it's coming along nicely. So I will put on a stitch marker so we'll know where we are for next time. So there we go. So yeah, it knits up lovely and fast. I would recommend that pattern as well. It's weird though, it like doesn't have sizing. For the cast on, everyone must cast on the same amount, and then you just must knit more to make it for the bigger sizes. But then that's no good if you're short, is it? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know enough about pattern grading or anything to know that. So yeah, that's my Felix pullover, which is coming along nicely. Next up is my mitered square blanket. So I am using the knitted patchwork recipe by Martine Ellis, which is only available on Ravelry, I think, but there's hundreds of mitered square patterns, and they're pretty much, it's just a different, maybe a decrease in the middle that makes them different. And I'm not following the pattern exactly. As I said before, I'm slipping the last stitch of every row with my yarn in front, and the first stitch of every row I knit through the back loop, so it makes a nice straight edge. So I am on track with my square a day. So all the ones with the stitch markers on are the ones I've done since last time. So I've got all of these. And that one there. So they are all the new ones that have been put on since last week. So it's about this big now. So it's coming along. I've decided I'm not going to put self-striping in because I like the look of just the sort of semi-solids and speckles better than the striped ones. So, in fact, now what? So yeah, I'll be able to de-stitch marker all of these. I'm really enjoying this pattern. So I'm using just minis and scraps. It takes me about 5 grams or just under 5 grams, depending on if I'm having to do the cast on or not. That takes a bit more. So if I'm just filling in from the side, it takes a lot less. Just give me a minute. Can't remember what I was saying. So I'm using, yes, less than 5 grams for each one. So I generally have 10 gram minis up there, then I decant them out into a jar, and then I keep that on my little trolley downstairs, and then just pick them out and add them in. And so I've got a bunch of them up there that have already gone into this. So once I've used all the minis that I've got, and they're all in there, I'll have to put them in again further round. But it's a good mix, I think. It's a good mix of colours. So there we go. That's the mitered square blanket. It's going to be so nice. Right, last thing is another new cast on. Last bit of my tea. Oh, it's almost cold. Right, so I have cast on a Marled Magic Shawl by Mr. Stephen West, and I am using all of these leftover bits and pieces. So I went through all of my stash that was part skeins and had a lot of this kind of colour, a lot of this kind of colour, and I mean look, it's all bluey greens, bluey greens, bluey greens. So, but I have a few little sparks of lovely that I'm going to put in as well. Oh, I've got a pink of this. It must have fallen down somewhere, I'll put that in. So, last night I cast on and I have managed to finish the first section, which is this. Oh, hang on. So for this part of it you hold one strand throughout the whole thing, and then your other strand you like stripe through it. So I tried to go dark to light, and then I put in some crazy craziness in the middle, and then went back to the dark colour. And I've realised there's some glitter in this one at the top here. You see. So I'm going to put that in somewhere else where I hold it, you know, just once. So I've kept all my ends long like I'm supposed to. Oh, it's that way. Why is that one so long? There we go. And then I think you braid these later on. You do like a braid down and then have like a tassel, which will be nice. Yes, so I'm very excited about this. It's much more greeny blue than it's coming up on there. It doesn't photograph very well, but there we go. So that's section 1. Section 2 I'm going to do in purples and greens. I took a picture of the colours I'm going to put in, so I'll put that in there. Yeah, so that's that. I've been wanting to make this for ages. So yeah, that's exciting. I might even start the next section this afternoon. Although I need to get my square done to square of the day, so I'll need to do that as well. And I've got some tidying up to do. So that's it, that's all the WIPs. I've not had any acquisitions. Oh, I did have this that I bought before last time and I didn't show you, I forgot. So it's basically a kit to sew your own advent calendar. Like an advent calendar wall hanging, which I'm going to try and do for next time so that I can keep my yarn advent in it. But it's got really cute little, funny little animals on. Oh. So yeah, I bought that. I think it's a, is it a Dashwood? Where's it from? Hang on, because it says. It's Dashwood Studios Merry Menagerie by Kate McFarlane. Can you see it? Oh, it's like upside down. And it has instructions on there how to do it, but there's a lady who I think sells them and has a YouTube, and she's done a tutorial of how to do it. So like that's the back, and then the other side is like the pockets on the front. And then you like quilt it a bit if you want, or you can just sandwich the wadding in between. So yeah, I might do that bit by bit. Well, I say I might try and set up my sewing machine on the table that you're on there. Then it's out and I can start picking it up and doing it. So yeah, that's it. That's the only thing I bought. Everything else is just from Stash. Yes. Stash. Yes. Excellent. Right, so that's where I'm at. So yeah, any tips on this situation would be greatly appreciated. Let me tell me what you're working on. Have you had any finished objects? Because I've not had any yet. But I think I might finish. I could finish that magic. How much I like it, and I'll try and get a bit more done on that Felix, but I think they'll both be quite quick knits. So yeah, tell me what you're working on. Have you got any scrappy projects on? What are your stash projects that you're working on? So yeah, that's it. I'm not going to ramble. Thank you for joining me. Please like the video if you enjoyed my ramblings. Please subscribe to the channel if you would like to see more or see the progress on these things that we've talked about today. And like I said, go over to the website to find out if there's anything that you've missed or that you've not heard me explain. They'll all be linked over there. And yes, have a lovely 2 weeks. Happy knitting, happy crafting, and I'll see you again soon. Take care. Bye bye.